Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of my Dark Avengers comic book review. The comic books this week were very small, very short, sweet. This is March 10th, 2010. And before we get into those comics, I would like to mention a mini-series. Blackest Night JLA. There's Blackest Night JLA number 1. As soon as you're done scanning that, that's number 1. Blackest Night number 2. And while you're scanning number 3, I'll explain. I was actually told to pick up Blackest Night the miniseries because it involved Blackest Night Superman again. I must admit, compared to Blackest Night Flash, I would give JSA a definite second out of the 3, and Wonder Woman getting 3rd place because I really just I'm not interested in Wonder Woman. It's a great miniseries. I would absolutely say pick up the 3 parts. It involves JSA more in depth. The only problem is it's a lot about Power Girl and Superman Prime. It's the stuff we all heard in Final Crisis. It's the stuff we've been hearing since the whole finding out that Power Girl's from an alternate Earth and was once Supergirl. It's a great miniseries, though. I enjoyed it. I would say pick it up if you're interested, or you could just wait for the trade paperback of the 3 books. But it's a really good miniseries, 3 parts. You can get them at midtowncomics.com, all 3. Very cheap, very good. Okay, now that we got the old stuff out of the way, let's get into the new stuff. First off, continuing with the disappointment, Amazing Spider-Man number 624. As you guys can see, I got the limited variant cover, which is now sold out on Midtown. So for those of you who want this cover, sadly it's sold out. It is selling at the regular standard comic book price. It's not more expensive variant cover. The comic book in and of itself is, once again, it's a crappy artwork. It's got the story that just doesn't hold you, and everything's building up now to the Kraven storyline after the Gauntlet. So the only big thing was Peter Parker got fired by J. Jonah Jameson. The end. That's the only interesting part out of the entire comic book. Would I say pick it up? Absolutely not. I'm just not enjoying Gauntlet. I don't know where they're going with Spider-Man, but I'm starting to worry. Moving into a better Spider-Man title, Ultimate Comic Spider-Man number 8. Getting back to Rick Jones having the powers and them explaining it to him. Basically, in the end, Rick Jones becomes Nova. For those of you who know Marvel, know who Nova is. Basically, now Rick Jones is the ultimate Nova. And that's basically the whole thing. I just summed up this entire storyline, the entire second part for you. He teams up with Iceman, Human Torch, and Spidey. They go off to where the artifact that gave him his powers was first found back in Ultimatum, and they have a big knockout, and he finds out that he likes being a superhero and becomes Nova then. Nice title. Absolutely pick it up. Hopefully the artwork will go back, will get a little bit better, but no major complaints. Okay, actually, let's put this one. Let's switch it up. Okay, moving into Prelude to Deadpool Core, number 2. Okay, this involves Kid Deadpool with a really weird version of the X-Men. Now, it's instead of it being the X-Men in this universe, it's the X-Orphanage for children with special abilities. So all of the X-Men are kids except for Storm, Emma Frost, and Professor Xavier, and Beast. Everybody else is kid. Scott Summers is a whiny bitch. And basically Deadpool shows up and wants Kidpool. So that's the end of this issue. It's an interesting issue. I'm not looking forward to part 3 because it's all about a dog pool. But issue 2 is pretty good. It's something to wrap your mind around for those of you who are Deadpool fans. Okay, and what am I getting at? Yes, Wolverine's a kid too, Amber. You could talk. By the way, guys, Amber is with us via Skype. Don't even mention it anymore because she's basically on all the episodes anyway.
Hi, guys.
Yes, Wolverine is a kid. He actually is a weird kid. So, he's a weird kid. He really is. So, that's that.
Of course he is. He's got blades coming out of his hands.
Yeah, and they actually misformed him in the comic. Okay, Web of Spider-Man number 6. 3 stories once again. The Lizard's origins. Then back to Spider-Girl. And then another story about the Lizard. The 3rd story's artwork was awful. I did not read it. I don't even want to look at it. It was terrible. The Spider-Girl story continues from where it left off in the last issue. For those of you who are interested. For those of you who aren't interested, of course, you're not reading that. And then the origin story, yeah. So, there you go. That's basically it. It's up to you if you guys want an origin story. The first story has great artwork. Spider-Girl story has okay artwork. The last story had terrible artwork. And if I see that artwork in Amazing Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man and every other Spider-Man title. Now moving into DC, the last two comics this week. Told you guys it's a short week. Action Comics 887. Continuing with what was going on there. I know it says on the top, Last Stand of New Krypton, but it has absolutely nothing to do. It does not tie into Last Stand yet. It still has its own story going on, and it's boring the hell out of me. I cannot wait for this story to end so that it'll start connecting with Last Stand. I believe there's one more part to this story arc. Don't even waste your time picking this up, by the way. And then it's going to get into Last Stand or probably just War of the Supermen. I'm just excited because, well, let's get to the next one and we'll explain why. Superman, Last Stand on New Krypton, #1. I love this comic book. This is the comic of the week, in my opinion. First of all, because I'm a Superman fan. I might be wrong. All those comics I said, I'm sure one of you will say, well, what about the other one? No. This one is the comic of the week for several reasons, and I will show you guys why. One major reason is this. Putting New Krypton finally
Did you just
to the
say
end.
pudding?
Pudding. Putting. Not pudding. Like I say on Brooklyn Boys. Superman, my friends, is back. Finally. So, with that step in a positive Superman direction, hopefully the next step will be putting Superman back in his titles and ending this stupid New Krypton shit once and for all, which obviously that's why this comic is being made. 3 parts. I just can't wait for this to end so that Superman can go back to Earth and do what we all know and love him for doing. Great comic book. I would absolutely say pick it up. You know, I know I've been saying New Krypton sucks, but now that it's basically almost behind us, you might as well pick up the last days of New Krypton, The Last Stand. Really good storyline. With this, Brightest Day, and Green Lantern, all the stuff that's going on in the DC universe, and stuff that's going on with Green Arrow, not Green Lantern, Green Arrow, it's going to be, DC Comics is going to have their own little big events going on, depending on which superhero you like. For me, Superman, so I am very glad that this is finally happening. By July, hopefully by July, we will be seeing Superman going back to doing what he was doing a year ago before this entire New Krypton bullshit. Okay, guys, I know this is a 1-part episode. I know it wasn't really that big this weekend, well, this week. The next week, there'll be a whole lot more comics. It's going to overshadow this week for sure. It's going to make up for all the stuff that you guys missed out on. And, yeah, so look forward to next week. Lots of comics, lots of new comics, lots of one-shots, and hopefully a lot more to talk about because, honestly, with all these comics, there really wasn't much to talk about. So let's give you the rundown one more time. Superman Last Stand on New Krypton #1. Get it. Absolutely great. Action Comics 887. Skip it. Web of Spider-Man #6. It's up to you, but I would skip it. Prelude to Deadpool Core 2. I'd say get it if you're interested in seeing about Kid Deadpool. Ultimate Spider-Man #8. Get it. It's great. Amazing Spider-Man 624. You can skip it. JSA 3, 2, and 1. Blackest Night Mini. I would say get it because it's a good series. Up to you, though, once again. All comics are up to you, always. Best of the week is, in my opinion, Superman Last Stand on New Krypton. And with that, I will catch you guys next week with more comics. Hopefully more to say. Hopefully some news. It was a very dead week for comic books this week. I don't know what's going on, but yeah. So I will catch you guys next week. See you then.
Bye.